Okay, and hello YouTube, as this is the only place it's really gonna be uploaded to. This is CD Mangaka, and I'm doing just a fun little casual kind of experiment of sorts with Devil May Cry 5 here. So for PC, if you're gonna ever speedrun the game, speedrunning on PC is kind of like right now, it's sort of like the suboptimal way of speedrunning the game, just because Special Edition now exists, and with Special Edition, there are a couple of new features added to the game, namely being like Legendary Dark Knight Mode Sparta. But relevant to speedrunning is Turbo Mode, which makes the game run at about 20% faster than it does in base. And that's fantastic, because if you can make the whole game go 20% faster, you can save a lot of time in a speedrun that lasts about like an hour, usually. Now, for PC, because there is no special edition for PC, there's just the base game, and therefore there's no Capcom-provided or in-game provided Turbo Mode and Legendary Dark Knight Mode and other features. You're not able to do it because we can only use what the game gives us, really, for this category. Glitches, for example, and like game settings. Doing mods, so like changing the cosmetics of the game or changing how the game runs, is like it's completely invalid for like a legit speedrun on speedrun.com. So I'm not going to submit this run there. I'm only doing this because I want to kind of emulate what it would be like for me to play this particular speedrun on a special edition version of the game with the turbo mode active, with New Game Plus. So to show you how I'm currently doing this, I have a cheat engine table set up, downloaded from nexusmods.com. This is a Vergil trainer thing. Under here, I have deep turbo and turbo speed. If you look over here, the value is set to 1.2. There's a couple of zeros and then 4.8. I don't know if this is slightly faster or slower than the special edition, what that provides for its turbo, and that's one reason why speedrun.com doesn't take runs that have these kind of outside modifiers, because there isn't really quality control. A runner could say, like, yeah, I did it on like this 1.2 turbo speed, but it's really like a 1.21 or 1.22 turbo speed, something where it's so minuscule to tell the difference on, like as you watch the gameplay, but it would save time over like an hour-long speed run, so it would just basically be considered cheating. And so I'm basically kind of cheating in this run, but I don't plan on. But I'm not gonna submit this to speedrun.com. This is just for my own entertainment purposes. Because of that, and because this is an invalid run, I left other cosmetic mods on in the game. So we're gonna see Dante with a little redder coat, and he's gonna have some text flying out of him when he changes his stances and does certain moves. I'm trying to think if there's any other mods that I have installed. Oh, on PC, your default controls scheme and buttons is like an Xbox, but with some mods I have here, they show up as a PlayStation 4. So even though I'm playing with a PlayStation 5 pad, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the details. I am doing a completely separate split for this run. They use the same timing as like my normal New Game Plus Vergil runs. But I just reset the time. I didn't specify this was for PC because this is an invalid run. That way I still have my times. And I basically wanted to see what happens if I got to run the game on Special Edition, or as close to Special Edition as I can get. My current best time, which if I'm not mistaken is still a world record for this category, because nobody else runs this category, by the way, that's the only reason, for now, is about 1 hour and 4 minutes. So I want to see like how fast I can do this if I have good execution. With the game running 20% faster. With that, let's jump into it. I'm just going to explain that, and I guess I'll kind of talk too about like what goes into a Vergil human speedrun in this category. So, movement with Vergil is kind of cool in New Game Plus because you have access to some really great movement options, like this the lunar phase from Beowulf that's available from base game, but there's going to be a couple other things and another trick that I use over the course of the run to try and save time. Still a little not used to the turbo mode timing in this context, but actually, wow, okay. That's quite a bit of time already saved. So for context sake, my consistent best time without turbo mode is like 58 seconds. So we could maybe get this down like to 5 seconds. So already like the game running 20% faster Like, there's a possible, like, 8-second time save just in, like, what's basically an auto-scroller part of the game, just because everything is faster. So. Try and do grounded judgment cuts here because since the attack is faster on the ground, our DPS I think is probably more. I'm more comfortable doing air judgment cuts, but I think, like, strictly speaking, like, ground ones are better. I am gonna jump up here though because I want to kind of float towards this exit, kind of get us a little closer to it. And since this is New Game Plus, we get access to some, like, movement options right out of the gate that aren't normally available, like, at this point for Vergil. So, like, we got air stingers with Mirage Edge, rather. We got rapid slashes for Yamato. So we got a couple, like, extra bonuses. We also got this attack here, which I'm gonna use this next little bit just because. Pretty bad fight there, not gonna lie. But I did get the devil trigger I wanted. That was kind of my goal, but I definitely slopped it out. But this is why I wanted to do it, so I could just get right up here instantly. Saves me some money. And in my last couple of tests, like, I wasn't getting the devil trigger there, so. Now this room actually is on a bit of a timer, so killing those enemies doesn't cause this little bug up here to spawn sooner. So you can technically, like, mess around here, probably do a more devil trigger building oriented setup, rather than, like, try to kill, like, the first wave as fast as you can. I messed that up. Let's hope it's the only time I do that in this run. Using the ability to lock onto the little bugs there to then rapid slash to them. So we start the ground collapsing, you do 2 rapid slashes here, and then you're pretty much set. I'm gonna run up here now, and we're gonna rapid slash all the way to the end of the block here. Switch to Beowulf. We're gonna warp in, cancel, like, our stun animation. Alright, we had to do, like, an extra hit there, but this works out. It's because I didn't build, like, enough devil trigger to really two-shot him there, so I had to do something extra. But already, like, usually about this point in the run, I think I get to, like, about 5 minutes or something. I can't remember, like, my full comparisons. I probably should have actually kept the history, like, compare the times and see how much time we save overall instead of, like, this approach. But it's fine. So as you kind of notice, my control scheme's a little different. Normally you can swap your weapons with the right and left triggers, but my left trigger is set to do summon swords. Main reason for that is just kind of like a style Vergil strategy, is so that you can control your swords and hold them while you're still attacking. I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to add sword calls here. I'm just gonna set up fight now, because I want to stay on that platform and kill the enemies as they go, but I'm kind of sloppy. I'm used to spamming judgment cuts in without turbo is sort of like the issue here, but it's not a big deal. You know, a few little bit of whack early fights shouldn't mean much. Now normally I move with, like, the air stinger up trick and then lunar fall, but instead I'm gonna just sprint through here, since the enemies lock on their positions would drag my lock onto it. and thus kind of mess up that movement. So we're just going to run through here. Enemy spawns just out here. Going to blow this up, get the ability to just then rush this thing down, kill it, switch to Yamato, wait by the exit, and this is just classic Vergil speedrun combat. Just lord it over these demons. I'm trying to add in some summon swords as well, but maybe I should stop. And maybe there's higher DPS strats without judgment cuts, but at the same time, just being able to like, it's so strong once you build up concentration anyway. I kind of goofed and I let this guard because I wanted to get onto the exit. Normally, that happened again. Now you can see here, this and Cinder's got it stealth out. So we kind of ran into the same issue twice. Now I'm pretty sure running in Sin Devil Trigger is actually a little faster than just being in human form, so that's why you'll see me flicker in and out of it. Maybe it's a placebo, I'm not entirely sure. But now we're at Artemis, so... Artemis is pretty simple, we're just gonna... Because she's airborne, Ho, or Hell on Earth, doesn't really do a good job of hitting her. So instead we just kind of go Sin Devil Trigger, spam, judgment cuts in her face. The reason I go like right up to her is to, when I do a prep slash to start like in the next round of judgment cuts, we actually hit her for a little bit of damage. That's my idea behind it anyway. 750. I usually get like maybe into the 8 minutes or 9 minutes at this split, so already quite a time difference. All right, let's see if I can't do this fight pretty well. I don't know if I mentioned it already, but no, I think I did. But because you release faster for ground judgment cuts, I think over the course of the run, like the DPS will just be higher. The air judgment cuts are a little safer, and you get some mobility with it. I'm gonna do them here, so I can kind of float toward this exit. Now we're gonna jump down here, spawn back here, and we're gonna kind of run away. In that particular, this up trick, Lunar Fall, is faster than just running. And here we're gonna go ahead and use this to get to the very end of this part. Jump up. See if I can't snipe the double trigger. Nice. We got it. Route over here so I can pick up this devil trigger immediately, and we're gonna use this to kind of blow through fights. So also the big reason why we use judgment cuts is that once we go into Sin Devil Trigger, you can kind of see that I'm summoning, that everything is dying. So Vergil targets up to about 3 enemies with Sin Devil Trigger judgment cuts. So you just obliterate everything. Plus there's like a crazy, maybe not crazy, but there's a strong damage boost to it as well. Dive right here so we can bust that open, fall, jump down here, and again, the same trick. The other broken thing about Vergil is that he basically has a mechanic of Dante's, which is like SSS Sin Devil Trigger. What I kind of mean by that is Vergil can go in and out of Sin Devil Trigger with no cost if he only goes into Devil Trigger for a short amount of time. Now, normally Dante has to get into triple S style rank with that to unlock that power. Otherwise, if he transformed his Sin Devil Trigger, he's committed to it, he can't phase out of it, and you spend all of your Devil Trigger. But Vergil can just do it at whim. He can just do it for free. And so you can just go into, like, you know, you can go into the fight, pop Sin Devil Trigger, destroy everything with your multi-powered up judgment cuts, and then go out and you didn't spend any Devil Trigger. It's ridiculous. Also, 10:27 time for our Nidhogg feels good. And, you know, again, kind of like the same thing here. There we go, a couple of ground ones. I'm kind of finally getting like I'm starting to get the timing down for both of those, so that feels good. Gonna move over here after we blow up a plant root. We got Gilgamesh, giant boss that Nero fights, and we're gonna fight later, but Nero in the story, I mean. This is a huge time loss for no reason. I just really misexecuted that whole foray, so. But even with mistakes like that, I'm curious to how much faster I can do this kind of thing. I could have saved that. Probably should have, actually. Oh well. Coming up here for safety, and again, like, you don't even have to look at the fight. You can just do the timing. Vergil takes care of the rest. This enemy also spawns, like, on a timer. These two enemies are linked to his death, so killing him faster spawns those bats faster. So we are very much interested in that. Trying to snipe this devil trigger because I want it for the next fight. Didn't work so well. It's been a little bit since I've done a run of this game, but that's good. So this next part, I'm gonna run into this wall and just lose my speed for no reason, and then I'm gonna try and line up this angle, rapid slash all the way down. And nice. You can pop that little blood Clyphot root very quickly like that. Snipe the devil trigger with some summoned swords. Phase in and out of Sin Devil Trigger for what is either a real movement speed boost or a placebo. Still not sure. And again, just Sin Devil Trigger up here. There we go. Spent a little bit of Sin Devil Trigger there to make sure that the Queen and Poos died. Am I actually going to have enough to go into... I don't think I will. That's wild. I spent just a little too much time in that farm, so I can't start with Doppelganger like immediately in this fight. So I'm going to do a few of these. And now we get the Cavalry Garion fight, and we're gonna do the same thing as we did to Artemis, pretty much spam just because. One more right there. That could have saved like maybe like a second or two. Definitely lost some time just with like some sloppy movement for no reason. That mission, I was supposed to trick up onto that first platform where the Gilgamesh leg came through the ceiling. And just kill him that way. This fight for me has always been a little tricky, the Gilgamesh boss fight. Just because like there is like a little time save that you can do. And I'm gonna go for it. So we're gonna jump over here. And we're gonna climb up this leg. I picked this leg because he stays stationary. Now I messed it up though. Because with New Game Plus we unlock this ability called Enemy Step. You can actually just jump up Goliath or Gilgamesh here. Normally, like when you're doing like a new game, you take out the leg and you trick up there. The reason I did that was because I had been messing it up too much, and I said, all right, enough of that. He's gonna hide this. I know it, but or maybe he won't. Now he does. Okay. I was waiting for that. I could have killed him or killed it. Right. I didn't turn that off. That was a pretty weak Gilgamesh fight. Ideally, what I want to do is I want to be able to enemy step all the way up that first leg of his, get onto his back with some extra extra Devil Trigger, and start hacking away at that weak point. Now, I'm surprised as to why that weak point stayed out for as long as it did, because if I actually doppelgangered, I could have killed that boss really fast. So there's some testing I should do there. Next mission. I'm gonna slash once, but my main goal is to get speed right here. Because we get a scissors that spawns up there, and since we can lock onto her, it's not really a good look for us. Now she is gonna follow us into here, and I lost my speed boost this time for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. I know it's possible to keep speed all the way through here, and that's kind of nice to get, but I have yet to get it to figure out how to system or anything like that. So I kind of got lucky, killed a few enemies. Gonna kill that last Kusa over there, just while we wait for the little spawn sack to die. Make room for us. Advance forward, because these enemies are spawning. We might as well get close to the exit, and then just look at them. This fight, though, is where we get to show off a few new tricks with Vergil. Now, you know, I like doing this. Oh, I messed up the running path, so like a little messy. Not a big deal, though. Here we go. All right. And again, we're gonna focus down this little egg. While it dies, we'll hit these enemies a bit, and then I'll stop, and we're gonna run through. Reason I just hit those enemies, I want to build a little more devil trigger if possible. Kind of just gives us more resources to work with. Jump down here, switch to Yamato, run through this area. And since everything's so cramped, it's just faster to run through with speed. Again, get by the exit, and a long sequence of judgment cutting. Gonna try and throw in like an air taunt here and there to build up some more devil triggers, so that's the property of that move. And now we got some devil triggers, so now we just misrate everything, do a cycle, phase out of it. Again, just like free devil trigger. Don't quite need it here. Perfect. That was some really good management. You know, we want to wipe out that room. Want to come up into here. I want to do something a little different. So we're gonna wait right about now. The little babies spawn out of these guys, and then we kill everything with a judgment cut end. Just weaved them so hard they died. And I'm pretty sure that's faster than like waiting for them to spawn and then judgment cutting them the normal way. I accidentally spent some devil trigger there. That was my B. And I think I should do rising rapid slashes up this way. Now, you know, one of the reasons why we like the high altitude movement is like that right there. All right. Hopefully I one-shot everything. Yes, they all ran in. Beautiful. So one way that you optimize that fight is you just do that. At this point, in a new game speedrun, you would have bought Hell on Earth so that you could just one-shot that fight. The Proto-Angelo, the captain with the big sword who rallied those guys with the shields, would have really taken us a while to kill. And these enemies can all block as well, so as you're trying to judgment cut them, they can just absorb hits. It's really annoying. So just being able to one-shot them all like that is like very nice. So we want to optimize for that. And, you know, hopefully they behave. The guy with the big sword, the captain, rallies them, and then they all try to collapse on you, and so they just eat a point-blank hoe. Hell on Earth. I love the fact that we can call it hoe. That's, you know, it's the abbreviation for it, you know. Just gonna hit him with some sick hoes. Again, we're gonna come over here. I gotta remember to turn around after this fight. Again, coming up here just for safety. These enemies like have a hit of armor. Hit down, turn around, perfect. I'm not gonna get that first elevator that we see going up, but I will get the next one, like pretty much as it spawns. So that's cool. And it's this way.
Show me your motivation.
Vergil's got some great taunts. So you see where the sword flashes right there? If I was holding down his attack button and I released it, like as it flashed, I would actually go into a perfect judgment cut. He has several taunts like that. And that one actually, if you do it like, if you pull off that taunt like in a fight, you get like 3 bars of devil trigger, so. And all of his taunts have different behaviors too, so it's all pretty sick. One of them, he pulls out like the book that V totes around, and as he kind of holds it in his hand and ponders if he should give it to Nero. It builds Devil Trigger, just like V did when he would open the book. So I think that was a cute touch. We skip a fight there, pretty standard. Come up here. This fight, I'm gonna kill this guy right out of the gate. Then as the rest of the enemies spawn, I'm gonna jump towards the exit. I have to remember, one tricky thing about this fight is that the enemy, the first enemy, he actually turns us around. So the way that he came at us was where we came from, so you want to turn around and then head that way, because that will take you closer to the exit that you want to go towards. So we jump out here. Up next is another important skip. I used to do this fight with like a quick judgment cut, try and build a meter for it. But with some good movement, some very quick timing, we can just jump through, skip that fight. I need to do a little better about angling that dive kick to the left. That can probably save a second if I go like all the way to left. So again, I threw out taunt there because these two were spawning. I thought he was gonna die, so. You gotta be careful because the reason why I get that strike down attack is I let go of the lock-on button. So if I killed that enemy sooner and if I didn't drop that movement, I probably could have made it up that other platform, and we would have saved like 8 seconds or something here. And I lost more time going for that. That's okay though. It'll be interesting to see again how much faster we are in a run where there's turbo involved compared to a run where I don't have turbo. So, like a pretty decent run where I don't have like those big time loss mistakes. This next part actually has like a little bit of a cool movement trick to it. We're gonna charge in Devil Trigger here, come up over here, lock onto this guy, rapid slash, and we fly off. And I'm jumping all the way through here because, one, it's faster. 2, I don't want to lose concentration. Because if I whiff attacks or if I run through a fight, Vergil doesn't know. Here we go. So we're going to break through this phase pretty quickly. And now this is the second fight here. All right, we're gonna break this, and now I'm gonna chill because what I want to have happen here is I want this Urizen to kill me. We're gonna run into him here so that we get those. I'm gonna try and hang out at this range, then run into him. Now, because this is like my own personal file and I'm bad at like deleting my save data and just doing a new file, I kind of have to have him do this many hits to kill me. Reason that I die here is that in the original story, this is Nero's like run back to Urizen, and once Urizen stands up, Nero loses again. So it's a fight we're intended to lose. If we were to kill this Urizen as Vergil here, the game would like say it end. Oh, you ended the game too soon. So it would actually take us all the way back to the main menu. We have to select this mission manually. So to save time from all that menuing, we just die. Even though it would be faster to kill. I think it all comes out like, well, just with the load times, like it's just faster to play. So. And yo, at that point of the run, we'd be like a half hour in, so already there's like 5 minutes saved. I'm gonna kill all these guys, jump over here, and oh, this guy spawned behind us once. Interesting. Okay, so his spawn is like tethered to where we are. Very interesting. Now up ahead, there's a fight that we could do sort of quickly, but the problem is that there's like a Nilo Angelo in it, or Proto Angelo rather. So because they're so tanky and because we don't have enough Devil Trigger for Ho, we want to skip it. So we're gonna do like this tree skip that V would normally do with Vergil, because Vergil's broken. He's got like so much movement options. So I'm gonna stinger over here. Then we're gonna jump forward. 1. And I almost messed up. I accidentally switched to Yamato there. Thankfully, I caught my mistake before like we came flying to the ground, just lost time. Now Vergil is actually so strong. Ever since I started doing that skip on like my normal runs, I've only been saving like about like maybe 2 seconds doing that. Like he could just destroy that fight so fast, that running all the way around. For V, it saves a lot more time. For Vergil, it's not as much time. And again, because we got multiple enemies, we're just gonna pop in double trigger, kill them all. Most of them. Stock some of that up. Jump down here. Dive kick this way. Dive kick this way. I got clipped on a wall. Unfortunate. So I know there's a skip that at least used to be done with V there. I'm not sure if it's available anymore. But I always try to go for it with Vergil. Like if you can get yourself through that doorway, you can skip this fight. I've seen it in a run, but again, I don't know how outdated or whatever it is. Maybe they patched it out. Because they patched out a couple other skips. Well, I say patched out, they made it harder by trying to patch it out, but us finding another way of doing it. And Vergil's so strong that while he can access a couple out of bounds states, the ones he can access currently that we found don't really save him time. So it's just faster to play through the game standard and just be Vergil. I dawdled a little too long in that trigger there. No jumping there because I really didn't want to enter the man. Nice. Doppelganger and Sin Devil Trigger are crazy good. That's why Judgment Cut's kind of like the fastest thing to do with this character. Because not only with Sin Devil Trigger, we like triple how many Judgment Cuts we do. With Doppelganger, we then duplicate those Judgment Cuts to double the damage, effectively. Because it mirrors our movements. And if we Judgment Cut, it joins us and also Judgment Cuts. I'm not sure if it's exactly double, but it's crazy, so it just gets nuts. 28 minutes in, bro. I think this is gonna be an easy sub-hour. Like we're halfway through the run, mission count-wise. Some of the longer missions are coming up, I think. Like this mission is actually a fairly long one. There we go. See, once you get kind of into the groove of using Vergil's Judgment Cuts, the game just, or rather the run really takes off. So here I'm gonna jump over here because I want this double trigger to get a Sin Double Trigger. And then we just delete this fight. Again, toggle Sin Devil Trigger on and off using that just free SSS property of it. A little more movement speed, I think. I know at least he was faster in like previous games, so it just kind of to me stands to reason that'll be another property of it here. I know his attacks are faster in this form, so again, like it just feels like a reasonable conclusion to make. I'm gonna try and run right down here, drop into more Devil Trigger here, stand by this exit. We get 2 Sin Scissors, but again, Vergil's OP, so we just kill them like literally as they spawn. Don't get turned around this time, very good. And since we have some enemies down here, did I lose my speed, really? Oh my god, that's annoying. So I'm gonna have to resort to this movement, which is fine. While the next round of enemies spawn, we get by the exit. Camera's gonna focus over there, and I got like basically max devil trigger on both accounts, so we're gonna trigger this fight, jump over here. Try and line this one up. Okay, nice. Invisible, little bit of wall right there. Again, because I have full resources now, we're just gonna delete like all these. Now this enemy I have to let fall, so I can then blow him up. Gonna jump forward a few times. Again, get by the exit. Doppelganger, sin, double trigger. Kill everything. While the combat is very repetitive in a Vergil speedrun, it's like it really kind of comes down to execution and movement. So I wouldn't say it's like an easy run, because like doing like those perfect judgment cuts over and over for like an hour takes quite a bit. I think I can make this barely. Good cycle, nice. Now again, we got more knights coming up ahead, so my plan is to get in here, wait kind of right behind him, wait for Big Boy to spawn, and then kill him as he spawns in. Beautiful. Again, like if they live, that can be like some seconds lost. And we got another Urizen fight up here. So slash in, switch to Beowulf. And again, so this is a fight. This is Dante's fight. So this is actually like a flashback sequence in the original story. So it's another fight we're supposed to lose, but if we break open the shard, we end the mission, you know, without like a defeat or a death. And because Vergil's so OP, we can do it very quickly, even on like higher difficulties. So now this next mission is gonna be pretty dope. It's one of my favorites. It's a short one. Alright, I'm gonna use speed and run by these guys because again, because they spawn in, they're gonna kind of mess with some of the movement I want to use. In fact, I can't even like use air stingers at that point, so we're gonna run up here now. Switch to Gilgamesh. Spin on it, punch it. A couple of summon swords as well. Run into the next fight.
Show me your motivation.
So that's what I meant by that taunt. And I stuck with it because I wanted to get the extra double trigger from it. I mean, again, because some of these enemies coming up spawn on a game timer. So this guy, he spawns when those guys die, but this guy spawns on its own game clock. Then we can kind of mess around in this fight a little bit, and I actually got the full sin double trigger already. Beautiful. So we can use this for a fight. Next couple of fights, make them faster. Mandatory ones anyway.
Get lost.
There we go. Want to fall down like that. We're gonna do a cute little trick here. The summoned swords are actually locked onto something else down there, onto that little red pustule that we just saw. So we can actually just position ourselves behind it, and the summoned swords will snipe that crystal. Good. All right. Another quick fight. Just again, just being able to shoot everything, kill everything at once. Normally, summoned swords break that double trigger, so that's a little annoying, but not a big deal. We got this one up here as well, so we're gonna just jump up here, hit these guys like as they spawn. As you can see, like I mentioned before, they can kind of get those shields up on them. I'm actually killing everything so fast I got thrown off guard there. Oh, don't worry, we still. Alright, these guys should be falling down. There we go. We're gonna advance towards the exit. Kind of one of the longer fights you're gonna get in this particular category, I think. Outside of like some boss fights. Whoops. So again, one thing I kind of like about this speed run is that we're kind of just playing the game as fast as we can. Here comes Cavalier Angelo. We're gonna jump up to him. Freeze him. Get up next to him. Hit him with round 2 of the hoe. And he's dead. Now again, this is like really broken, but it's also human difficulty, so the boss fights are already very, very squishy to begin with. But even like on higher difficulties, Vergil just deletes like everything in the game. Mission 12. I can definitely do this in like sub 1 hour. Enemies right out of the gate. We're just gonna skip them because it's an unnecessary fight. This time. Another unnecessary enemy here, just running to the next encounter. And this is actually a very cool mission because there's some cool movement that we can do as Dante in this Vergil. Again, this is like the section of Dante missions in the game. So like every mission is a weapon and everything. Vergil, we don't get that, but Vergil has such a broken complete kit that he can basically any skip Dante can do, he can do better. I always get turned around right there just because of like what the camera does. It's very weird. I'm gonna try and snipe this double trigger here. Very nice. Trying not to get too close to that so then we accidentally hit A. And build it up a little bit. Get down here. Open this up. So this mission is kind of like all revolves around like this one little weird puzzle where we gotta drain this blood into like a statue down there to open up a secret passageway. Normally we're supposed to pick up the Nidhogg hatchlings and go deep in and fight a whole bunch of fights, but Dante can fly around and skip the fight, as can Vergil. Dante has to use like a new weapon he gets that's something very high into the air, and then use like some of it, like an air trick and Sim Devil Trigger to float. Vergil just air tricks up, air stingers over. Again, because Dante would never do that. Gonna flash in and out of Sim Devil Trigger here. Get speed, skip this little fight, get right up next to this gargoyle. Nice. Rapid flash over, just because it's a little faster. Blow this up. Pop it, rather.
Too slow.
I went a little too far. I just gotta do one. Staircases. Here, we're gonna fly over now. It's supposed to be this. I'm gonna try and line this up. Perfect. You can just skip right to the end of that mission. And we say hi to Yurzin again. I'm you, but motivated, sir. Nice, we dodged that. And again, we're gonna give little Yurzin here the business, but I'm gonna try and freeze him before he gets that off. Bad, unfortunate. I didn't stun him enough before he regenerated his crystal. Normally he falls down. I'm not sure what happened there. Normally you have a little time and you can stun him. So that was very weird. But even then, like the crystal basically ate the hoe, but that's still like a 5-8 second time loss.
Get lost.
So this mission is kind of like we're just gonna race to the ground pretty much. First we gotta deal with this annoying enemy. Kind of like a mage. Vergil's broken though, and so he can just lock onto him and kill him across the room. We're gonna jump down here, slash our way down. Real fast ball. You're gonna see enemies spawn in this room, but we don't care about them. We only care about blowing up these pustules here. I am gonna hit the enemies still because we do have some time to kill, and I want to build up enough double trigger. Oh, accidentally hit him. That was fine. We fall down. Another reason I'm doing this too is that I want to build up enough concentration. So here we go. We just fell all the way through the floor. We're gonna jump down here now. Jump over here. Get right about here. And since Vergil is broken, we just kill everything at once in the center. We're try and get over here. And we're gonna just go around, pop all the pustules. One-shotting them with our Sin Double Trigger Lunar Falls, close to max concentration. I am losing some because you lose concentration by whipping attacks. Now I should be able to fall through here. Nice. Very good, very good. This next mission to me is hysterical. So this mission is a V mission, and it's a pretty story-heavy mission where you have a lot of character time with V. It's the last time you play as him. He goes to like an inner dimension or something like that to regenerate. But Vergil doesn't care about that. So the developers put in these little orbs to just have us literally fly through all the running we'd have to do otherwise. So we're gonna get here, and we're gonna advance our way forward. Our first objective is to collect Devil Trigger. Again, using like our little speed tech here. Messed up there again. And immediately I'm gonna go to the right, pick up some Devil Trigger. There's a health orb there. Scoop up this Devil Trigger too while I'm at it, and we're gonna trade the boss fight. As you can see, it's Artemis, so Vergil, V rather, gets to fight a whole bunch of bosses that he didn't get to fight. But Vergil, you know, we just get a few repeats here. But these bosses are all mirages basically, and so they have reduced health. So we can just obliterate them even faster than you've come to expect. Again, running off to the side, trying to find some Devil Trigger. It didn't quite work. Now that I have full Devil Trigger here, we're just gonna get up and hoe him. And it one-shots him actually. If you remember the first time we fought Goliath, it took us about 2. That's how reduced these fights are. They got reduced health values because you're expected to beat them in a single mission. Kind of back to back to back. I'll pick up a little more Devil Trigger there, just be safe. I run into the same thing, Cavalry Angelo. Spoilers. Oh, I messed up. Behave this time. We one-shot him. I'm gonna pick up a little more Devil Trigger because I can. Actually, I'm looking to try and use it for like a little bit of movement tech. And again, so that's all the fighting done, and once more, V had a little more story to do, so he just kind of ran down, or skated down on Shadow, which is a little faster than running, and the developers just wanted us to kind of forget we ever played as V. You know, it's a nightmare that Vergil would rather not recognize. And again, when you get like these huge drops like that, that's why we like using the Lunar phase with Vergil. Lunar Fall. Lunar Star? I'm not bad with remembering the names. Forgive me. Oh, let's go. I hit that. Right, so then here, I want to try and line up a few shots and kind of dive kick my way down into the end screen. Not sure if that was faster or not, but yeah, this should definitely be like a sub 1 hour. Now this mission I always have a problem with. This is a Nero mission by default, so there's a couple of cool, crazy pathways and stuff that you can go through. But again, because we're Vergil, we can kind of follow through some of those ways, and the fastest way is to go through the more dangerous way, because the other way, Vergil just has a really hard time getting through it. So we're gonna jump up here. Perfect. It's been a hot minute since I've been able to do that right. I'm gonna trick through here, line up this jump. More perfect. Even in my PB, I didn't pull that off. So that was beautiful. I'm happy about that. Now these are Chaos, and the one and only thing about Chaos is that they got these back spikes, and you can break these back spikes, but when you do, the annoying thing is, they kind of like cause the game to slow down as like this dramatic pause of the spine breaking, and that messes with the judgment sometimes. That last guy, as you could probably tell, spawned by an in-game clock, so we can mess around with those 2 dunes and maybe build some Devil Trigger off of them. But we don't quite need it yet, so we're just gonna kind of chill. Jump over all these amazing guards. Shout out to the Scudo Angelo, they definitely deserve a raise. Go this way. It's a little faster. See that one guy just stay in my way? Dive kick down, get us closer to the entrance, or exit rather. Spawn killing him. And again, you can see that these guys are tanking some of these judgment cuts with their shields, so that's a little annoying. Once they start attacking, though, they get shredded like every other enemy, but it's just that ability to block a few of those hits that really get on my nerves. Take advantage of the fall we got going on there. I'm just gonna run past this fight too. Try and manage my Devil Trigger here. Because again, we're just gonna go. Just kind of want to go balls to the wall with it. 2 air stingers, hit invisible wall, another invisible wall. So you can do quite a bit of diving around and navigate through here really quickly. Hopefully the skill's still. Alright, so we got in there. We did take a hit. Because there's a few moments before you get iframe, so I couldn't just go into it again, and I might have lost some damage. But either way, we were able to finish her off very quickly with some judgment cuts. Might have been taking like the same amount of time as like 2 hoes. 48 minutes even. I can't wait to compare this to like my normal run. I should have saved the time just because I copied them over, but I chose to delete the history instead. Is more and more like a mistake, because then we could just kind of see how much time we save over it. But okay, going after that Devil Trigger ain't worth it anymore. So this mission has so much Devil Trigger because this is Dante's like first dedicated mission after he unlocks his Sin Devil Trigger mechanic, and so the game wants us to just kind of spam it. Now we're gonna do all this to then access Ho here. I'm gonna stun all these guys, and boom. Again, killing the rather tanky Proto-Angelo like in a burst. So that's why speedrunners will invest into Ho very early. You just can skip so much long fights. And now that we're Vergil, we're just gonna kill everything. Kill everything so fast that we got time to just kind of sit here and taunt as we wait for Behemoth to spawn. And yeah, you heard what the man said. Supposed to be that. Drop down. This fight, we're gonna have another cool Judgment Cut end trick here. Okay, I got worried there because that Fury had some time to get out. So I got very, like, he had time to spawn. So I got worried that he might start doing his thing and get all of his iframes and avoid that quick kill, but we got lucky. Unlike right there, that's some concentration gone. We'll build up a little more of it though, not a big deal. So much for my no-hit. For New Game Plus speedruns, you don't really care about perfecting missions just because there's no economy to play for. So again, I think it's another dynamic that makes it overall like a less interesting run than like the new game run. So. But it's a nice test of execution, in my opinion. And right now, because I have a hard time getting new save files set up, I don't have all my shenanigans unlocked. It's hard for me to really test myself there. And again, another enemy that spawns on an in-game timer. So. But you know, normally like it would take you probably about a little longer Or just long enough for that enemy to come in and maybe be a threat, but Vergil just kills everything so fast that we're just kind of sit there awkwarding it up. We're gonna jump down here and come down here. Quick slash down. Now we got King Cerberus here, and much like Nidhogg, he's got multiple hitboxes, so we want to take advantage of that with some double trigger and Dante. So we're gonna do all this, we're gonna stun him, and we're gonna spam him and kill him to death. And nothing to it. Again, taking advantage of the fact that he's a 3-headed dog and he has 3 hitboxes, 1 for each head. So that's cool. That mission felt pretty good. Mission 17, we're gonna fight we're gonna fight Urizen now. Urizen that's all naked.
Down. Kneel before. Down. Kneel before.
So we're gonna cause a phase skip here. We're gonna jump over here, hit him with a hoe. He's gonna take a lot of damage, and in this fight, again, because we got Dante with double trigger, the game gives us like so much double trigger when we hit him. So we're just gonna take advantage of that and kill him real quick. And I think that's faster. There's only 3 missions left in this run, and I'm at 52 minutes. I don't know what Cosmic's world record pace was. I know he like barely got sub 1 minute with a whole extra mission and menuing and stuff like that in there, so maybe there's a way for New Game Plus Vergil to do things just faster. Gonna run over here. I try to want to kind of try and jump through that fight before it got too crazy. So we're fighting all of V's different summons through this one. V has like he controls these demon familiars. They're actually callbacks to Devil May Cry 1. We're gonna kill Shadow, run this way, get quite a ways ahead, which is a beautiful looking thing. Again, skip over all this next fight. Get in here. Go to town again with these judgment cuts. I want to land, pick up this double trigger. They run, and they're going to go to the final fight. And again, we're dealing with a boss that has multiple hitboxes, so we're going to once again do doppelganger judgment cuts. That sucks. That sucked. That's like a 10-second time loss or something for no reason. It's okay. So this is Shadow, Griffin, and Nightmare, and we're just gonna kill everything like one fell swoop.
Try me.
Try me. Oh yeah, we're well ahead of any pace that New Game had. So now we get to the really only testing part of this whole run, which is the Dante fight. So I kind of want to use like all my different movement options to try and avoid getting hit by Dante here. Just a try. Again, we're gonna try and just hit him with a doppelganger, and I didn't realize that we weren't juggling him. We're gonna spam judgment cuts on his head. Die, please. Thank you, Dante. Little rough fight. Now we get one more round with Dante. Dante has some other weapons now. He busts out Cerberus and the Kalina hands and the Faust hat at one point, I believe. We bust out the theme song. The anime OP. And again, we want to float above him, kind of be safe, hit him with these judgment cuts, build up some Devil Trigger. He's not playing nice. And now, once we got him here, we just want to judgment cut him to death. Nice. Bro, 6 minutes. So, with about 20% faster gameplay, minus a few things here and there. I had a few time saves that would have been really good for like a normal run, but you can shave. It looks like you shave off about like around 6-7 minutes in a speed run.
I won't lose.
Actually, no. My fastest time was.
Hold on to that until then.
It's more than that. My fastest time currently is 1 hour and 4. The sum of my best segments is 1 hour and 2 on non-turbo. So, you know, about 6 minutes, assuming like this like beat all that, but about 8 minutes shaved off in 1 hour. So that's like the power of like having like a turbo for a turbo mode for like a speedrun that's legal to use. Again, this run is completely invalid for speedrun.com for the PC category. And because this isn't the special edition of the game, and because this isn't the turbo provided by the game itself, it's also invalid for that. But still, it's a cool experiment, very, very fun to see. So, yeah. Anyways, if you watched the video, for whatever reason, I appreciate it. Hopefully, the commentary I provided on a whim was entertaining or useful for you if you're looking to understand Vergil speedruns or get into Vergil speedruns yourself. I showcased, I think, most of the known tricks at the moment. I do have to review a few things. But again, this is for the New Game Plus category. For if you're looking for like new game stuff, definitely look at D Cosmic stuff. Is he still the world record holder right now? Either way, he's one of the mods in the Devil May Cry 5 speedrunning Discord, so he's a great guy to go to for resources. Very chill too. You know, I had a short talk a little while ago, but yeah. Anyways, this is a little for funsies speedrun, completely invalid, but I enjoyed it, and I might just mess with this game casually or find something else to do. Peace out, friends.